Everyone desires love. We all want to experience what it's like being held, what it's like to have someone tell us that they love us.
好きだよ。
And if you're one of those that wants love, you and I are now best friends. And if you don't want that, you're an absolute liar. You want a waggery, and you know it. But what if instead of her, you're given... let's just call her a stress reliever on the streets? Would you still accept her? Well, that's exactly what our main protagonist is going through. This manga is called that. I'm not reading the title since you can read for yourself. Let's recap, shall we? Our story begins with our protagonist, Kiyomi, chatting with his friend about the new game he bought recently. Then there's this one girl in his class, Nanjou-san, infamous for being the stress reliever of the streets. She probably has had an entire civilization downed in both her lips. However, the other girls know that Kiyomi and his friend hasn't put their 19 inches of venom in Nanjou, because they're just losers. Even the protag himself believes that he'll have nothing to do with her. Little did he know, he's the chosen one. After school, Kiyomi was prepping to go home so that he can fiddle his diddle to some 2D drawn corn, but he remembered that he had left the game his friend gave him in his seat. So he heads back to class to retrieve it. Unfortunately for him, his spider senses weren't tingling. Without knowing what's happening, he opened his classroom door. He immediately closes it like he's trying to block an attack from a boss fight. How dare she do the deed on his table? That's his table. After being caught, Man's just left the room, blue-balled. Her well is so dried up that without any hesitation, she had the audacity to ask the main protag to continue where the other guy had left off. And like a Chad, he rejects the offer, which, obviously, continuing where the other guy left off is like taking a doo-doo in an unflushed toilet. Bro is such a Chad that he worries more about the table's cleanliness rather than the girl's dirtiness. I need Bro's level of self-control, no cap. Nanjou then suggested to head to a hotel to do the splodgy-wadgy, but Bro just left her on scene and left her speechless. As he was getting ready to leave school, she pinned him against the locker, screaming in his face, demanding an explanation on why he blue-ticked her. Simple, he likes neat black-haired girls like Madoka from a dating sim game. 2 things I'd like to add. 1, I love purple-haired girls. 2, the only Madoka I know is a magical girl. He then proceeds to just head home. That's crazy. And while at home, he starts playing that dating sim game. What a virgin. Oh, who am I to judge? I watch romance anime for crying out loud. The next day, his type magically appeared and walked past him. The bones of his one-eyed snake started to harden, till it snapped after realizing it was just Nanjou. She requested to chat with him outside of class, and while outside, she flaunts how she's now a black-haired and neat girl. Black-haired, yes. Neat, no. Why did she go so far, he asked. Because he rejected her, and now she's going to change his mind about connecting pissers. Before I continue, let me give the guys a word of advice. That's not how it works. Rejecting a girl doesn't mean that she'll chase you till you change your mind. Not like a girl has ever offered you guys a thing. Let's be for real here. He rejects her hard, and now she's pouting. I find pouting cute, honestly. In the end, she does what Marin did to Gojo that one time. You get the picture. So he snapped hard and started saying how weird she was for sleeping with that many guys, and how those guys hardly have any feelings for her. That's harsh, man, even for me, but I understand where he's coming from. Even she knows that essentially, he's not wrong. He felt that he may have been harsh, but she needed to hear it, and suggested she finds a healthy relationship. As he was making his way, 2 dudes were approaching her for some fun activity. He noticed how she had no interest in doing something like that again. She was thus called a worthless woman, which is absolute incel behavior from that guy, and her fear from her past began creeping in. Before things start escalating, he called her name and said that the teacher's looking for her, and those guys left her alone. He then admitted that he was lying and the teacher didn't actually call her. He apologized for snapping at her. She then begins trauma dumping about her past on why she is the way she is. She's upset about the way she lives and wants a normal love life. Being the absolute Chad that he is, he begins complimenting her, saying how she is cute and how she can easily win someone's heart, but not his, of course, since he does have a type. She then offers a proposal. Since he plays a lot of dating sims, he should be experienced in love. So now she wants him to be her boyfriend to teach her how to live a normal love life. Despite her being not remotely his type, he agreed to it. I guess when you're in the desert for too long, you don't even care what water you drink anymore, as long as your thirst is quenched. The next day in school, Kiyomi is being lectured by his new girlfriend. Oh, how nice. You may be wondering why exactly is he getting yelled at. Because he went home first yesterday without telling her. Don't look at me. I don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. Bro's falling in love with her more and more, but forces himself not to get too attached like he's Batman, because he believes that she'll fall out of love with him. Brother, you're the main protagonist. You're gonna win, unlike Gojo. He then suggested for her to go back to being a blonde. She rejected it, because he likes black-haired girls and really wants to do the naughty-naughty with him. He's still annoyed at that. After school, Nanjou decides that they should go on a date during the weekends, but Kiyomi doesn't wanna, for the sole reason that Bro is a video game character with hardly any clothing options. And for that, she's gonna drag him to a mall to buy some clothes. In the mall, she thought it'd be an amazing idea for both of them to buy matching clothes. So they tried and failed. I hate couples so much, I swear. If only Fern would do it with me, I swear. By the way, I've skipped about some pages for the sole reason that it has a lot of panties and bras and boobs and butts and whatnot. Read them on your own behalf as you please. Nanjou then brought her little boy toy to the hair salon that she visits, for him to get a haircut. And just like cooking to Gordon Ramsay, the barber's barbering skills are top-notch that Kiyomi became Ayana Koji. Bro's now looking like an actual anime protagonist. This moment causes for a celebration, so they took pictures. What in tarnation? Kiyomi was genuinely surprised by how much he has changed. I wouldn't be surprised if he was feeling himself. Ayana Koji, Kiyomi, thanked her gal pal for making him realize his full potential better than Megumi ever could. The next day in school, Nanjou is shocked to see her little puppy back to how he looked, rather than sticking with the Sigma male Ayana Koji look. Kiyomi basically responded by saying that Sigma males are cringe, and that being a Chad is better. He then went on a full-on rant on why she should go back to being a blonde. He admitted the only reason why he fell in love with Madoka is because of her heart, not looks. He believes that it would be better for Nanjou to be who she truly is, rather than who he desires to date. That's more charming than anything he feels. For the first time ever, she felt something she has never felt before. She felt accepted. The next day, she returns to being a blonde, but oh no, he seems disappointed. Au contraire, as a matter of fact, he loves it. She told him never to do things like that again, because she's afraid she may accidentally leak juices from her blender. And from here on out, Bro's gonna be living in pure bliss and awesomeness. She looks like Marin a bit, no?